What's going on? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Been on the road. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep track of the days when I've been on the road, but I appreciate y'all for tuning in all the same. Today we're going to talk about probably hot button issue in today's society, but I'm pretty comfortable with hitting hot buttons. So let's talk about what the difference is between a caged animal and a man. All right? Because I think that as a whole, many of us men are missing the point of what a man should be, okay? I think one of the reasons why we miss out on this is because we have a very toxic idea. I'm not going to get on here and talk about toxic masculinity. I'm going to talk about little boy, man boy, bitch made shit, okay? So here's the thing. A real man, in my opinion, and I guess it's my opinion, but I think when we look at history and really try to get a definition of the type of people who have absolutely brought in eras of prosperity, eras of, situations that have absolutely changed the world in a positive fashion, that we have to address the fact that literally men that are capable of extreme shit but choose not to, are actually the ones that are influencing the world in a positive fashion, okay? The old phrase, I'm going to paraphrase here a little bit, but the old phrase that the meek shall inherit the earth, that's actually not saying that the weak and the ones that don't fight and the ones that avoid confrontation will inherit the earth, because that's actually not the definition or the way that word used to be used. The word meek is loosely defined as ideally people who are capable of extreme violence but keep their swords sheathed. Okay? I liken this to the idea that I've shared before where Jordan Peterson talks about this and several other people talk about this, that a real man should be a caged, like not even like caged, but like a civilized barbarian. They should be a civilized monster. All right, they should be capable of the most extreme shit that if it comes down to it. I want the people in my life to understand that I love them so much that if it came down to a life or death situation, I would tear people's fucking arms off and beat people to death with them. But I keep that anger in check. I keep that rage in check. I keep that type of behavior only to the fucking circumstances that it would be called for, or that it would be required to behave like that. I think that's why so many people misconstrue the idea of nice guys finish last, okay? You're not actually nice, you're just a fucking pussy. There's a difference, all right? There's a difference between being nice and being incapable of being rude. There's a difference between being nice and being incapable of being violent, or being incapable of being disrespectful. That's just fucking cowardice, all right? But let's talk about the opposite side of this, because this is really the subject of today's talk. I want to talk about all the man boys out there right now. All the people masquerading as men. I'm going to call them males because I don't think they deserve the title of man. They just happen to have equipment, but that don't mean that they're a man, all right? We are redefining a lot of concepts of what a man is and is not nowadays, and that's fine. But if we're redefining them, that means we also have to understand that there is a definition. And if we feel like a man, or we want to be a man, we want anything like that, we have to actually take a look at what that means, in my opinion. Again, that isn't necessarily the subject of this talk, but it's something that's worth, talking or discussing or asking yourself, what is a man to me? I think to me, the way I was raised, the society, the culture I was raised, a man is somebody who protects his family. A man is somebody who protects his community. A man is somebody who tells the truth, who's respectable. A man is somebody that we can actually look to and say, man, I'm fucking super glad I know that person. Right? But what a man is not is a fucking coward. Somebody who has to have a temper tantrum because things don't go their fucking way. Somebody that thinks that violence is immediately the only option. Those are the actions of a caged animal. Those are the actions of a scared little kid. All right? A real man understands that I don't need to fucking hit everything in the face or punch holes in the wall because I don't feel right or I'm upset about some shit. That's fucking stupid pussy shit. Because it's trying to intimidate somebody instead of reasoning with them. Alright? Only as a last resort. Only as a last resort. Only as a last resort. 3 times I'll repeat that. Should we ever consider violence? But then if it is the last resort, make it happen, dog. Don't talk about it. Don't tell nobody about it. Just be about it and be done with it. If it really, really, absolutely fucking requires violence, it should not be something that's talked about. If you come into my house fucking with my family, I'm going to murder you and that'll be the end of it. I'm not going to fucking say, hey bud, what are you doing there? Be careful. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm trying to say. The situations where you use violence should have to be that extreme before you even consider it, before you consider threatening, before you consider acting like a little fucking man-child because you think that your feelings are hurt. Do you understand? We are walking around in a society of people right now that have such pussy little fucking feelings that words hurt them so bad that they have to hurt somebody. You know that the rest of us see when people behave like that. The rest of us see you, and we know that you're in pain. We know that you're hurt, and we know that you're insecure. Otherwise, you wouldn't be acting that way. Real men have confidence. Real human beings have confidence. Real women have confidence. They don't feel the need to talk down to somebody else, or more importantly, they don't feel the need to get upset because they feel like somebody disrespected them. The only time I'm ever going to feel some type of way about being disrespected is if somebody I respect and love disrespects me. And even then, I have to consider what's happening. They're probably going through some shit. Don't take it personally. All right? If somebody like that I don't respect disrespects me, why the fuck would I care? I should expect that out of people that I don't respect. Because I only respect people that I feel like are deserving of respect. We say the idea that everybody's deserving of respect. Everybody's deserving of basic kindness. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just because I don't respect you doesn't mean that I'm going to go out of my way to be a dick to you. There's a difference right there. That's actually egotism masquerading as confidence. But I cannot respect somebody and still treat them respectfully. Do you understand? There is a difference. There is a difference because I carry myself with a certain level of character that I think the expectation should be that I respect the people and the situations and the things around me in such a way that I'm not causing undue friction. But if friction is needed, I'm going to go right to the point. If I need to have a hard talk with somebody, I'm going right to the point. I'm not avoiding it. I refuse to avoid it. That's exactly how I consistently get problems in my fucking life. And that's how you get problems in your life. The weird thing is what I'm saying right now, actually, this applies well past being a man. And it just implies, do you want to be a fucking real, like forward-thinking, respectable human being? You should probably do these things. You should probably consider manipulation. Never. 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 3 times. I'll repeat 4, never. All right? You should probably consider telling the truth as an always. Despite how it makes somebody feel. Because I'm not responsible for how you take the truth. Now, I'm not going to go out of my way again to talk to some stranger and be like, I think this about you. That's just offering undue opinions, all right? That's why I get on these and I just talk to the old me and I talk to the world without it needing to be like, hey, you dickhead, if you're feeling some type of way about what I'm saying, the reality is that you're probably hearing the truth and it's upsetting you because you don't know how to handle having somebody directly say some things that don't coincide, that go against the grain of whatever accepted paradigm you have. Okay? So, getting back into it, temper tantrums are not acceptable as men or as women. Does anybody respect a toddler that's having a temper tantrum because they don't get their way? Why the fuck would you expect an adult to respect another adult that's having a temper tantrum? For real. You're going to shout somebody into, all shouting somebody, shouting, screaming, getting angry, getting crazy with somebody, all that does is get somebody to turn their brain off and figure out how they can either work around you or fucking smash through you. And I think a lot of people are asking for consequences that they don't really fucking want. Because if they really wanted them, they just go get them. But what they're doing is they're asking for consequences with their behaviors and then being surprised that it happened. I mean, just an example. My wife left me because I got violent too often. You shouldn't have ever gotten violent in the first place, bud. How is a woman or a man going to respect a partner that fucking hits them? I am trying to 100% get it across to you and get it across to anybody that sees this because I care about you. And I know what it used to be like for me. I know how easy it was for me to get upset at things. I know how easy it is for me to still get upset when people tell me things that I'm not ready or don't want to hear. But I know that feeling well enough now to grab the fuck a hold of it and choke it to fucking death like it needs to be choked. I know that feeling of welling up inside of me where I'm about to have an emotional reaction to something that I'm willing to be violent towards that fucking emotion. Because what people really want from me and what people really fucking need from me and need from you is for you to stand up and be the best fucking version of yourself no matter what happens. No matter who's looking. That's integrity. When you do that shit even when somebody's not looking. Alright? I want you all to have a fucking life where you can look in the mirror and you can feel 100% like you just love the fuck out of yourself. Like I'm, again, like just goosebumps everywhere because of how passionate I am about this. Because I know personally that I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, dog, you so real. I love it. Thank you, God, for giving me the fucking like power to overcome myself and to truly become myself. Thank you, God, for giving me the power to understand that it is not in my fucking hands to influence the world around me other than it is for me to be the best version of me I can be. And if that influences people, good. It's not up to me to try to change the world as I see fit. That is child shit. That's what kids want. They want the world to meet them where they want to be met. Okay? And there is something to be said for standing your ground, but that's different. That's different. What I'm trying to get out here is that a real motherfucker, real ones, like they adjust to the circumstances. Not expect the circumstances to adjust to them and then get angry about it. I'll ask you all here, the people that are in here, all right? Have you ever had somebody get crazy and have a temper tantrum with you that you reacted well to it? I haven't. Have you ever gotten crazy with somebody and had them react well to it to you? If you say yes, I'm going to call you a liar because they just fucking like unruffled the feathers and then moved on and was like, man, fuck that guy. 100%, man. Our goal is men. And our goal is women even. I believe in this as well because I believe women are fucking powerful. I fucking love women. I respect them deeply. But I don't respect princesses masquerading as women. And I don't respect little princes, little spoiled princes masquerading as kings. All right? If you want to walk around and tell your homies, what's up, king? Take care of that king. What's up? You want to walk around and talk like that? Motherfucking act like it. Motherfucking act like somebody who deserves the respect that you want to fucking foist onto people. If you're so fucking hurt because somebody disrespected you, cut you off in traffic, said some shit online, whatever the fuck, did you come out of character and you act a fool? Do you have any idea how much more it hurts to fucking apologize for acting that way than it does to just not act that way in the first place? Or how about end up in jail or in prison or back in prison? You know, the reality is we must learn to control our emotions because our emotions will control us, and they should be used as motivators, not motives. I'm going to say that one more time because I love y'all and I want to make sure everybody catches that. Emotions should be motivators, not motives. You shouldn't use your emotion as the reason you do something. It should be the energy or fuel behind doing the right thing. But don't take my word for it. The only reason I know this shit is because I lived it for long enough that I realized that there had to be a better way. Well, once I started trusting in God and stopped trying to fucking manipulate everything, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but once I stopped attempting to manipulate God's perfect plan and started trying to become God's perfect creation. And I don't think I'm perfect, but I think that understanding from the Creator's perspective is never going to happen. And that means that whatever I am, as imperfect as it seems to me, is in God's plan as long as I walk in God's truth. The end. Faith is love. Faith is a choice. And I have faith in you. Love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow.